What's up everybody, Pat Flynn here, and welcome to episode 11 of SPI TV. If you're watching this video, you might be interested in starting your very own mastermind group, or you might be in one already. Now, this video is here to help you make sure you structure that mastermind group so that you make the most of that time you're all spending together to help each other out. So pay attention, here we go. First of all, I just want to say congratulations, because becoming a member in a mastermind group or starting your own mastermind group can be one of the most beneficial things you can do for your business. To connect with other like-minded people, to all help each other out, to mastermind, to brainstorm, to be brutally honest and hold each other accountable, it's just one of the best things you can absolutely do. And that's why I'm in 3 different mastermind groups right now, 2 of which meet virtually online and 1 meeting monthly in person as well. So it could be virtual, it could be online, but either way, get in this group. And either you start this your own or you get in one that already exists. And seriously, it can help take your business to the next level. And not only because you're making these great connections with other people, but because it's really hard to see what it's like in your own business when you are in your business. When you share your issues and your problems and the needs and wants with your other mastermind group members, and if they're brutally honest with you, and those are the types of people you want to connect with, you're going to get some amazing information from an outside perspective. And I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the other people who I've associated myself with for my business. Now, they say you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Well, you're also the average of the people that you surround yourself with in your business as well. So surround yourself with great people, get honest feedback, and keep moving forward. So to help you out, what I want to do is share with you exactly how to structure that mastermind call, meaning what happens and when and who does what. And I want to do this because having the structure is so important. I've been a part of other mastermind groups before that are sort of just on the fly, talk, chat, see what happens. They've all died because nobody gets anything done. It's really important to have this strict schedule, and you can create variations off of this, but I'm going to show you here. I'm going to actually write on my table here for you, and you'll see an over-the-shoulder view of exactly how everything should be laid out. And you might want to share this video with your other mastermind group members, or if you're going to start one, just at least bookmark this so when you do have other members come on board, you can share this with them too, so you're all on the same page. Okay, so when you set up with your new group, you want to determine sort of a specific time each week, if you are indeed meeting weekly, that each of you are going to get on a call. And the call can happen in different ways. Again, it doesn't have to be in person. It could perhaps be a Skype conference call, or a go-to meeting, or go-to webinar hangout style. A Google Hangout would be another option, or you could use a teleconference. One of the ones that I'm in just is strictly on the telephone, which is kind of cool because then I can be on the go, but also helping out and becoming a part of this group as well. So FreeConferenceCall.com would be the solution there. But either way, if you have an hour call, this is basically how it's structured. So the first 10 minutes are really just sharing the wins that have happened during the previous week. So the wins are really important because you get to share something. Each person, round robin style, gets to share something awesome that happened during the previous week. And this is a great way to start a call because you pump each other up, you're motivated, and it's just a great way to reflect on the cool things that you accomplished during the past week. And typically after you've been doing this for a while, these wins can be related to the previous week's goals that you set, which is something you do at the end of the call, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Now, the next 40 minutes typically are spent in a hot seat situation. So the hot seat is essentially one designated person who is up, I guess you could say, for that particular week. And this person in the hot seat, their job is to present either a problem or an issue or a business idea or something they're working on with the rest of the group, knowing that the rest of the group is going to be brutally honest with that feedback. And I keep saying brutally honest, but I think that's so important because you don't want to share this stuff like with your mom or your friends because they're going to be just really nice to you. You know, you want that honest feedback that's truly going to help your business succeed. And of course, it's respectful. It's done in a respectful manner. But I've been in hot seat situations before where I'm just getting creamed. Like the direction I was going down, I'm just getting rammed by everybody in the group. The purpose of the hot seat is to have that designated person share a problem or an issue or present an idea that they have or something they're working on to the rest of the group, with the purpose of having the rest of the group be brutally honest with their feedback and to help that person figure out sort of a way to break through and move forward. And a lot of times it's just presenting what's going on and having people provide some nice commentary about it, but other times it can get pretty heated actually. I've been in hot seat situations where people in the group have totally just torn apart the direction I was going in. And you know what? I'm so thankful for those moments because it stopped me from wasting all this time. And again, you can hopefully see how important this can become for your business. Of course, it's all done respectfully, but when it's your turn to comment on somebody else's business, you want to be brutally honest too, because when it's your turn in the hot seat, you want them to be the same for you. Now, that hot seat typically will come with, at the end, a set of next steps or certain things that have to happen in order for that person to meet the requirements of the rest of the group, I guess you could say, or actually move forward from where their problem was. And then what happens is the final 10 minutes are spent, again, round robin style, with talking about goals or accomplishments that that person or each person wants to have met by the end of the week or by the time the next call comes by. And those, again, are the things that you might talk about when you talk about your wins the week after that. So this is basically the structure. It's not very difficult, but again, if you can really keep a strict look and a careful eye on the time, that's really important. Now, something else that will help is to have a person who is essentially designated as the, I guess you could say, the leader of that particular call. And the leader can be the person who was in the hot seat last week. That's how essentially we set it up. Now, if you're starting your own mastermind group, you're not going to have a leader from last week. You can just be the leader for the first week. And the leader's job is to keep track of the time that's happening and to make sure that, it's time to go away from wins and go into the person's hot seat, to make sure that the person in the hot seat has an adequate amount of time and is there with the next steps at the end of that. And then also going around and calling each person by name, in that round robin style, to share the wins, or the goals at the end. And again, the leader's job, it's really important just to say, okay, John, it's your turn. What's your win for the week? All right, Kate, your turn. This person just becomes a person who can direct the whole call. And that's better because then it's not just kind of, okay, guys, what are we going to do next? And you don't really have anything sort of directing the call. Well, having that leader in place can be really, really beneficial for the group. And then one last piece of information I want to share with you is to also set up some sort of online group where you guys can communicate with each other midweek as well. Sometimes it could be, maybe a Facebook group. And that could be a secret group that each of you can sort of become members of and just share things during the middle of the week. Sometimes we share amazing things that have happened and we just sort of congratulate each other. Sometimes we have small little questions that aren't worth 40 minutes on a hot seat, but can be easily answered by everybody else in the group in these Facebook groups. I also have another one that runs on basecamp.com, which is actually a project management tool, but we use that for communication as well. Or you can just have an email string, but I don't really recommend that because then it's kind of hard to, especially when those email strings get quite long, it could be hard to filter and find certain things. So I would typically go with the Facebook group. It's quick and easy. Most people are on Facebook anyway, and you can communicate with each other on when certain calls happen. That's a quick way to mention that if you're going to be late for a call, if you're not going to be on a call the next week. And the most important thing out of all this stuff, yes, 10, 40, 10 is the structure, but in your schedule, you want to make sure that you have and block out the time for your mastermind calls. I cannot stress that enough. It is something that is so necessary for you and your brand that you have to schedule in, and then you have to schedule around it as well. And I know I've said no to certain things that I've wanted to do because I've had mastermind calls, and sometimes those specific moments, those specific situations have turned out to be completely game-changing for me and my business. So get together with your group, share this with everybody else, and that way you can get an understanding of what the call will be like. Designate a leader if you don't have one already, and then have your first call and enjoy it. So let me know if you have any questions about mastermind groups. This is something I'm so big on. My friend Jamie Tardy was the first one to introduce me to mastermind groups. You can find her at eventualmillionaire.com, and she and I have been in a group for nearly 5 years now. And some group members have left, some new ones have came in, but it's really important that we're always there every single week, helping each other out. And I can't even stress how beneficial it's been for me and my business. And I know it can be beneficial for you too. So if you have any questions about mastermind groups, make sure to leave a comment here on the blog or on YouTube as well. I'll do my best to answer those questions, and people in the community will as well. If you're watching this on a video podcast on iTunes, you can head on over to watchspi.tv to then get redirected to the blog where you can ask questions and leave comments. And thank you so much. So I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode of SPI TV.